Hello, I'm Jan from The Upcoming. Pleasure speaking to you. So tell me more about the film. How did you come up with the idea? And how did you work on the script together?
I was in a bit of a rubbish place, which you can kind of see the characters in the film, and we started putting kind of my thoughts and stuff on paper. And I came to Neil, who is my collaborating partner, and said, I want to make this film. And Neil said, no, absolutely not. We've got too much other stuff to be getting on with. And I was like, no, I need to make it because I'm feeling it now. And I need to get it out and make it. And that's kind of how it came about. And then we sort of merged different experiences we'd both had and put it into the story. And it's just kind of a reflection on what we've experienced and I guess our truth of moments from life, I suppose.
There's a lot of lived experience in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I changed my mind very quickly as well, by the way. I only said no, and then 5 minutes later, I was like, okay then.
Why did you change your mind? Like, why did you think that this is a good idea to go with?
I think initially the no was just purely because we were really busy and we were working on a different project at the time. So I think it was just like, have we got time to do it? It was never a case of that I didn't believe in the project or, Lloyd's passion, and we're quite good at convincing each other, aren't we, when we need to. So yeah, I changed my mind very quickly.
Was it very difficult for you to, show yourself in such a vulnerable state while shooting the film?
I felt quite safe because all the people that made the film with us were quite close to me in a sense. We've got quite a good filmmaking family in Manchester, so it never felt at the time making it like I was, I guess, exposing myself because I had everyone around.
Not like that.
No, but you know what I mean? It was just quite therapeutic at the time. And then suddenly when we got into film festivals and people are actually watching it, I'm like, oh, I'm in it. So
How did you work on the casting? All those actors are chosen very well. They fit the roles. I'm curious about the process. What did you look for in your actors?
I think we'd worked with previous people before, hadn't we? Lloyd's worked on EastEnders, so you'd worked with Lorraine Stanley, had a really good relationship, and she just straight away was how we imagined the mother to be. Was a bit like Lorraine would be great to play the mum. And then with a few other actors, I was working on Hollyoaks as a runner, and so I'd worked with a few of the other actors and that, and established relationship with them. So yeah, it was we had a shoestring budget, didn't we? So obviously, if we could do some of the casting ourselves, we thought, why not? Good actors, hardworking.
I'm thinking also about the genre dynamics in the film because it's quite witty. It's a comedy, but it's a drama as well. Did you find it difficult to find this balance between all those genres?
I think the humour aspect came later. We started filming it and it felt quite heavy, and Neil suggested this needs an injection of humour, which is sort of where the voiceover was born from. So that kind of came later. And I think we had the benefit of being able to watch the film as we made it and be like, this works, this doesn't work. We need to inject humour here, take away the humour here. And I think we could really, because we shot it over nearly a year, I think we had time to sort of work out the balance.
Yeah.
And we got it to a place where we felt it was a good balance, I suppose.
I also think that, like in life as well, like even in some of the most traumatic moments that you experience, there's always northern working class people, always find the humour in trauma or, a situation that, might not necessarily be funny. There's always humour to be kind of found. I think in a way it's a survival thing. So yeah, I think that kind of came naturally, didn't it?
How would you describe your own humor? How would you say? Is it dark? Is it witty? What's your attitude towards humor?
I think it's probably we're both quite dark humour. We love Nighty Night, don't we?
Yeah.
Like Jill Tyrrell, that sort of humour. Yeah, that sort of cheeky kind of dark humour is definitely up our street, isn't it?
Yeah. I think working together as well as we're very able to laugh at each other and to laugh at ourselves. Yeah, I mean, my humour sometimes I'm ADHD and I self-manage now rather than taking medication. So there is times sometimes where my mouth goes into action before I've actually thought about what it is that I'm going to say, which sometimes can lead to, problematic things. But yeah, so I think Lloyd's had to have a sense of humour working alongside of me for 12 years, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about how you portray your characters. I mean, the main couple in the film, because you sort of it's a portrayal of a toxic relationship, but you don't really hate any of them. They all have their own personal demons they're struggling with. While writing the script, how did you try to come up with this idea that, you know, the audience not gonna hate any of them? Like, how did you try to find this proper way of acknowledging those facts and this power dynamic?
I think, like, in life, you know, are any of us really, like, 100% good or 100% bad? I think we're all kind of three-dimensional characters in life, aren't we? And I think, you know, I am very happy to kind of acknowledge the fact that I've probably been in toxic relationships, but may have actually been a toxic person. And so it's about acknowledging that and taking responsibility for your own actions and working on yourself and trying to, you know, work through demons or past traumas and to be a better person. So, you know, I think it's about understanding, isn't it? I don't think there's any character in the film that has the intention to be a bad person or a toxic person. It's just life experience and lived experiences maybe led to their actions, you know, not being the best person that they can be.
I'm also thinking about the way how sexuality is sort of like the experience is defined by your relationship with your parents. In a film, it's about with the mother, basically. And I'm curious, like, did you think about, like, you probably did, but how did you try to, like, shape the main character's relationship with the mother with your own experiences?
I mean, again, like, I think, you know, my mother has always been very accepting of you know, my sexuality. My brother is also gay, so she has 2 gay sons. And she's always been very accepting. But again, I think coming from, you know, the background that I come from, my mum probably definitely uses words that people would find problematic or, you know, inappropriate, but it comes from humour, and the intention there isn't to cause offence or to harm. It's probably just a lack of education. So yeah, I think a little bits come from
that, yeah.
don't they? Like, my mum would be, you know, it would be absolutely mortified if anybody said that she was homophobic, because she'd be like, I have 2 gay sons and I have, you know, gay nieces and nephews, like. But then there's moments where, to some people, the wording that she might use, they might be like, oh my God, I can't believe your mum said that. I'm a bit like, you know, you just have to take it with kind of a pinch of salt. And, you know, she maybe does need to be educated in some places around LGBT rights. I find it funny.
Yeah, my mum's also got 2 gay children. It's quite funny that, isn't it? We've both got gay siblings. And yeah, I mean, I think we wanted to put across that he's got a positive relationship with his mum, and she's kind of accepted it in her own way, and she loves him, and
she's learning.
And
yeah, she is educating herself, and, you know, she's on a journey, isn't she? Like,
yeah.
But the acceptance is always there from the mother. It's just that education of her wording and, you know, political correctness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, my mum was mega accepting. I mean, I think the mum character in it is probably the furthest away, isn't it, from our parents in a way?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's the little touches there, isn't there?
Yeah.
What was the most challenging part while shooting the film? Like, did you feel anxious sometimes, and maybe you're just like revealing too much of yourself?
I mean, there was time. I mean, I was processing a lot of. I wasn't in a great place when we started filming it, which is kind of where it was born from. And I think I processed a lot of feelings doing it, and I didn't feel like we were making a film at the start. It was only 2 months in when I'd processed a lot of it that I was like, oh God, I'm in a film and I'm in it now and I have to finish it. I'm acting in it. What? The most challenging technical part of it for me was probably doing the musical number at the end in the credits, because I had to sing and go into a recording studio and find my chest voice and all of this kind of madness. So yeah, that was definitely the hardest part. I think that was the most kind of vulnerable I felt, having to sing, probably.
And my most difficult thing was Lloyd's hair, because the wind blows and all of a sudden it's you know,
bird's
like
nest.
a bird's nest, and then the next minute we're like, okay, we're gonna have to redo your hair because it won't match up to that shot. So yeah, there was a lot of fanning around of your hair for quite a bit, wasn't there? You know, but again, shoestrings budget, we didn't have like a hair and makeup team to sort it out. So a lot of the time I was just there being like, can we just put Lloyd's hair out and see if I can touch it? Very precious.
Yeah.
Should have an agent of its own.
Before we wrap up, are you proud to be a part of the BFI Flair Festival?
Super proud. I'm so excited to be here. I mean, I remember doing a training student thing here about 12, 13 years ago, and meeting filmmakers and being like, oh God, I hope I've got a feature there one day. So yeah, I'm super proud.
Yeah, I've had 2 films premiere here before, 2 short films, Mirrors, and we had SAM that premiered here as well, wasn't they?
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting. I think it's great having a feature here and, you know, being able to be part of, you know, a group and, yeah, hopefully learn a lot as well. To be honest, we'd like to learn how to fill out the BFI funding forms, won't we?
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah,
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
brilliant.